True power lies in a silent place, unfazed by the many distractions planted in this diabolical race. Society likes to trap us in it. We go back and forth until we relapse back in it. True power lives within its own right, and sometimes it pulls a little harder to get you to fight.
So I decided today that I'm going to come to the forest, my favorite place to be. And I'm a little nervous because, like, I don't like talking. Like, this is a pathway, and people are always walking path. Why I chose to do a video in the middle of a path, I don't know. But I was hoping that maybe no one would come by. But I wanted to say something that's kind of controversial in the society we live in now. And I'm sure there's a huge amount of people who agree with me on this. But it's something that you don't really see in mass media, Hollywood, or anything like that. I believe they're trying to take away our power, a lot of our power, men and women, but particularly women. And I feel that they are trying to switch the narrative to give you this false sense of empowerment that also hinders you. Very, very manipulative. Very manipulative, of course. How could it not? Can you trust the society? Can you? But in particular, I want to talk about dress and modesty as I scooch that up. So I'm going to, for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to put religion aside. I'm going to put it aside because I want you to understand the message without the stigmas that come with religion. I was told from a very young age that there is power in our body and in our skin and within our temple. And I'm sure you've heard this before, but your body is a temple. And I feel that now more than ever, they've taken that saying your body is a temple and they flipped it, and they are trying to convince women that their power lies in showing that off that temple, sharing that temple, and allowing that temple to be invaded in the name of empowerment. In the name of empowerment. Like, can you believe it? And I want to tell you that, religion aside, modesty is your superpower. In a recent video, I talked about the power of your aura, the power of your appearance. And I remember one day I was coming in the house after a very hard, challenging time in my life. I came into my parents' house and I was wearing some baggy sweats. My aura was like, ugh. And my dad knew that I was going through a hard time. And he pulled me aside and he gave me a talk. But one sentence that I took away from him is, don't ever walk around dressed that way. And of course you would think like, oh, who to tell me what to wear? No. That's not what he was saying. He said, you need to maintain your energy. You need to keep your car clean, keep your house, keep your aura clean. Get dressed, leave the house. Feel powerful within yourself. And so for me, modesty came in because, like, what kind of power do I want to hold? I believe not everything is meant to be revealed. I think there is power in hiding some things. Again, another narrative that's being pushed in society is that somehow sharing your entire life is being authentic and relatable. But there is power in concealing. And to now we're telling to share, and overshare. And the same applies to your body. To your body. It is sacred. It is so sacred that even when we allow a man or a woman to be hypnotized from what they see, from revealing too much, it is so powerful that we're detouring their attention towards us. And even that is a very powerful egotistical feeling that you can get trapped into. And it's something that I let go of. I had to let go of. But when you're able to conceal it and you're able to conceal the right parts of yourself that enhances your beauty, you become a mystery and you become even more powerful. In natural human psychology, you want to unravel more of what that mystery is. By concealing, you are able to hide from the naked eye all the many, many deep layers that a woman is able to contribute, that a woman has, the many, many powers, many, many powers that you have. So this doesn't only apply to the clothings that you wear and like the kind of woman you want to present yourself. For me personally, I want to present class, elite, royalty, something that they're trying to teach us that you should take away in the name of empowerment and bold and be proud of your body. You can be proud. No, don't get it twisted. You can be very proud of your body and conceal it so that you don't give too much away. So even when it applies to social media, if you take the clothing out of it, it applies to social media, not sharing all that you have to offer to the world and everything that you do to the world. And that's another ego trap that we can get stuck in, of like, we have to show people who we are, and oh, I'm into the arts, and oh, I love to do this, and I'm this type of person. And we all do it. So it's not something that's like, you should be ashamed of. I mean, we all do it. I mean, I do it. I do it, but not trying to fall too much into the trap of like sharing and protecting yourself and not revealing yourself. And even when it comes to your tongue, not speaking too much. Ooh, and that's something even I have to work on, and I'm not necessarily great at today, but working on controlling your tongue. So I want to tell you today, if you could take anything from this, understand and realize your power. Another part of the manipulation is turning anything so-called religious against you. I believe religions definitely, for certain, have their issues. And so people are turning away. And that's why I love the movie Sinners. I don't know if you ever went to go watch it, but there was a lot of subliminal messages in the movie Sinners. And at the end of the movie, oh, I'm going to spoil it if you haven't watched it, but at the end of the movie, he loved music and he turned away from the church to go play music. I don't believe he had to turn away from the church and turn away from God to love music. I think there's some flaws in the church, and there have been, especially if we go back in particularly African American history, flaws in the church. But doesn't mean that there's not truth somewhere in there. We just have to find it. And I believe now today we're all starting to wake up like something's not quite right here. But doesn't mean that it's completely wrong, or does it mean that there's a new path that needs to be followed, that needs to be a little bit more clear? Because right now everyone's just rebelling. They're just rebelling, but they're becoming leaves in the winds, and in the name of like, I do what I want, in this very spiritual let it all go kind of way. But there's danger there. There is serious danger there. So when we talk about modesty and power, it's, yes, a Christian or a Jew or a Muslim might say, in the name of God, God says this, God says that. Very true. There's some truth in that. But really, why are all these cultures mentioning this? What is the secret behind it? Are we just supposed to do it because we're just supposed to do it? Or is there some type of power or something that he's trying to protect us from? Is there something very special about a woman's body and the hypnotizing effect that it has on men and women? Is there something so hypnotizingly powerful about our body? And therefore, that is why we should protect it. So these are the kind of questions you have to ask. But pay attention to that. Pay attention to the society and their constant need for sex appeal. Why? I believe it's a very powerful weapon. It's an extremely powerful weapon that's being used against us and being flipped and manipulated, and they're trying to tell you as a woman that you need to show off more and sleep with whoever you want to and be with any man you want to in the name of empowerment. Again, if we go back to our intuition, women should know this very well, but there's a power exchange even when you lay down with someone. There's a power exchange. There's a power exchange when you reveal your skin and a man stares at you. That stare is not just any stare. That stare, there's a spiritual thing going on. There's an attraction that's happening, and you don't always want everything to be revealed and that stare to always be on you wherever you go. As good as many women will not admit, as good as it feels to get those eyes on you, if that's something that feeds you a little bit, that makes you, if that makes up for your ego or insecurities, because let's be honest, it can. Putting on a very tight fitted dress and following and allowing people to see certain parts of your body can make you feel this false sense of power. So is this something that you really got to think about and really question everything? You really have to do your own research and really question, why is this message being pushed out to me? Because nowadays it's getting easier and easier to manipulate younger generations because the constant programming, and it's almost to a point where, how could you ever blame the younger generation for being manipulated, for not really knowing what it means to be a woman? And let's not even, I haven't even touched on the power of the womb and the power of motherhood that's being turned against in society. And nothing's wrong with people who choose not to have children. That's completely fine. But it is now everything's flipping. Everything's for self fulfillment. Everything is only just about fulfilling self instead of the grand benefit of the earth, society, as a culture. So that's all I wanted to say. I wanted to tell women to really think deep on the clothes they choose to wear, the appearance they choose to show, the feelings they get when they wear certain things. Is there a sex appeal there? What does your clothing signify to you? And keep in mind, you can be attractive and sexy without showing very intimate parts of yourself. You very well can. I remember as a little girl, the most beautiful women that I would see was a Muslima. I was always drawn to Muslimas. They're so beautiful. The class, the elegance, the power. They almost came off more powerful, more elegant. But now, I think a lot of us can live off of envious eyes. People want to be envied. You know that. Like, people want to be even envied. They want that. It gives them a power. It's a different type of power. But it's a power that they are attracting on purpose. And this entire it's like that in general with social media. It's very easy to do now. It's you shouldn't feel bad. I think it's very easy to do now, and now we could probably do it without really paying attention now. And that's kind of the issue of not really paying attention, just lolly dolly dolly about life. But I don't know. That is just my take on it today. I really hope that you enjoyed it. And there's flies. I mean, mosquitoes biting me.